Evans.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr.
5-minute time limit.
Absolutely. A delight to be under your chairmanship.
Yeah.
I suppose 2016 was a seismic year in many ways, and for those of us in this room who actually believe in democracy, I didn't actually realise that there were so many interpretations of it. And we've seen that just this last week. It's almost as if we had in 2015 the election of a Conservative government, which clearly hit a lot of people hard. Then we had Brexit, and people are coming, to terms with it or not to terms with it in their own way. And then, of course, the election of Donald Trump. And I advise anybody who is interested to go and YouTube a Newsnight video where it shows the leading lights of the United States of America, from Nancy Pelosi, George Clooney, Harry Reid, and various others, all saying that there's not a chance that this man would ever become president of the United States. They sneered when they said it. And why were they sneering? And actually, it's interspersed with the inauguration of Donald John Trump. And right at the end, they say, the United States has a new president. His name is Donald John Trump. So for those people who are finding it difficult to get to terms with Brexit, we're actually leaving the European Union. That's what the people decided. And for those who find it difficult to understand that the American people voted for Donald Trump, get over it, because he's president of the United States. And what I would say for all of us here, and this actually includes myself, is that we have to ask ourselves, why is it that people felt so left behind that they've made the democratic decisions that they've had, which we think we can't understand, some of us. How can you possibly vote for Brexit? How can you possibly vote for Donald Trump? And the fact is that the people have. These were the forgotten people. And just like we had the forgotten people in the United Kingdom, there are the forgotten people in the United States of America. They're the ones that packed that stadium on Saturday to cheer Donald Trump after his first month in the presidency, because actually they like what he says. Now, we may not like some of the things that he says, and I certainly don't like some of the things that he said in the past, but I do respect the fact that he stood on a platform which he is now delivering. He is going to go down in history as being roundly condemned for being the only politician to deliver on his promises. No, I know that's a peculiar thing in the politics that we're used to here. The politicians actually stand up for something and then deliver on them. But the fact is, he is. And I know that we can all go back and talk to the people that we know in our own little echo chambers, and that we hear are the same things. But the fact is that there were 61 million people who voted for Donald Trump. And when we stand up in this country and then condemn him for being racist, and I've seen no evidence of that. I have seen no evidence of him being racist, or that they attack him in an unseemly way. We're actually attacking the American people, the 61 million people who voted for Donald Trump. If they wanted more of the same, or the usual stuff, well, that was on the ballot paper. But they decided, by the majority of states on the Electoral College, as it works, that they wanted Donald Trump. Of course I'll give away.
I'm very grateful. My honourable friend keeps talking about the 61 million people who voted for, or 62 million, 63 million. Any others? But what they forget is that, of course, Hillary Clinton got nearly 66 million.
Yep. I absolutely agree. She piled the votes up in the liberal California and the liberal New Yorks in the East Coast. She piled them up. But that's not how the system works. And my honourable friend, my right honourable friend, is an expert in American politics. He knows how it works. And the fact is that's part of the checks and balances. He knew, Donald Trump knew how it worked, and it was the people in the middle of America who felt left behind, who felt what they call the deplorables they were referred to. Well, it was the deplorables who were the ones who have felt left behind by administration after administration, irrespective of the colour, and they decided to put Donald Trump in. One thing I would say, because we've got limited time, I hope people here too will condemn the trolling of Baron Trump and Melania Trump. We talk about sexism, and racism. The racism that Melania Trump has had to put up with since Donald Trump became president is appalling. When she read the Lord's Prayer on Saturday in Florida, the amount of people who had a go at her for doing that, and the fact that she's from Slovenia, that she hasn't got an American accent, quite appalling. So let's hear a bit of parity. And the other thing is, I don't want this House to be brought into disrepute, as my honourable friend from Newport said, in as far as double standards. Double standards. We can refer to all the things about Donald Trump, as some people have, even though he's democratically elected. Xi Jinping was here last year. Where were the demonstrations then? How many votes did Xi Jinping get? How many votes? We had a state visit from a Chinese leader 10 years after Tiananmen Square. And there have been a lot of other state visits into this country over the years, and it's double standards. It's simply because people in this room, and maybe in this country as well, cannot understand why it is that the people voted for Donald Trump, why people voted for Brexit. And until people in this room understand that, then I'm afraid there's going to be more of the same. The people who feel left behind have spoken, and they voted for Donald John Trump.